Hi, my name is Mary Rassa, and the program I'm going to be talking about today is a skirt and stocking clad soldier about women joining the military in World War II. This program can be offered to your organization either online through Google Meet or Zoom or in person. It typically lasts between 30 and 45 minutes. I had the privilege of being able to research the Women's Army Corps in my position as a park ranger at Sandy Hook, and I was able to dress up as a WAC for the 100th anniversary, and then I continued conducting tours as a WAC through my entire time working for the National Park Service. I had the privilege of meeting a member of the Women's Army Corps, and I conducted an oral history interview with her, which is available in its entirety on this YouTube channel. There's also a brochure that is available online or in person in the park. The topics of this program are the first women in uniform, the different services, wartime service, the types of work, life on post, the stories through oral history, and Rosie the Riveters. The Army Nurse Corps was the first organization to allow women to serve, followed by the Navy. These women served with the Army and the Navy, but they were not in it. They did not get full pay and benefits until after World War II. Now, as World War II started, there was a great need for more manpower, and they realized that they needed to include women in the equation. So, a very contentious bill was finally passed in May of 1942, allowing women to join the Army, but they were auxiliary. They were not given the same ranks and privileges as the men were. But the one good part was they were allowed to serve overseas if they so desired. Of the first 13,000 people who applied, there were only 450 officer slots. Many of the women who initially applied for officers became enlisted. They also had to be 21 years of age to join and have a high school diploma, which was not a requirement of the men. Men could be 17 years old and did not have to graduate high school. The next service was the Navy. The Navy chose a better name for their organization. They came up with an acronym and then they chose words to go with it afterwards. So this was 2 months after the WACs were created, and they learned from the mistakes. They made the women in the Navy with the same ranks and privileges as the men. They also chose to use women's college campuses to do the training, which was a little bit better than choosing an Army base. The women Marines were on the same date because they are part of the Navy, and over 18,000 women served. The SPARs were the Coast Guard members, and 11,000 women served. Now, the WASPs were the pilots that were not given any military status. They were actually considered civilians, and they ferried planes all throughout the United States. Over 1,000 women served. They were not given military status until 1977 retroactively, and unfortunately, when you are a civilian serving with the Army, if you died performing your duties, your family would have to pay for your burial and pay for bringing you home. So this is a great disservice that finally in 2010 they were awarded the Congressional Gold Star. The types of work that the women performed many were clerical. A lot worked with both aircraft and automobiles and jeeps. They worked air control towers. They were photographers, mathematicians, and they also test fired weapons. The Rosie the Riveters that existed at the time were civilians, and they worked with ordnance at many places throughout the country. So this is just a brief synopsis of this program, and if you want to learn more, please check out my YouTube channel or give me an email at beaconpointhistoryservices@gmail.com. Thank you all.